Our next author is Scott Sunderland. So Scott, come on up. Sometimes people ask me, do you work with men? Yes.
Yes,
Evidence.
she does.
Thank you so much for being here. So your book, Finding Ugly, Transform Your Worst Moment into Your Greatest Gift. Let's tell people about this book and also why you wanted to share this message.
Well, I had 2 life-changing events in my life, and I think everybody has a story, and everybody's story needs to be heard, because when people hear other people's stories of, tragedy or triumph, it gives everybody else a little bit of power. It helps bring their story to life and realize that there's other people out there that are struggling, and it empowers you. So I was paralyzed for a year, and obviously I'm not anymore. And that really, I wanted that to be told. I wanted that.
When you were paralyzed, and I remember the moment your application came across. When I read your application, I was like, this book needs to get written. Like, this story needs to be told. When you were paralyzed, you had no belief you would ever walk again. It just sort of happened overnight almost, right?
It did. It happened very quickly, probably 2 days, completely paralyzed.
And we're not saying 2 days he had a car accident. You were
no.
just like walking around, working, regular skiing, regular dude. And
Regular dude. And all of 2 days in a hospital, completely paralyzed, eyelids wouldn't work, nothing worked. So that was really, and no one really knew what was wrong with me.
So sometimes people don't like this. They call it spiritual bypassing, right? But there's a saying that Byron Katie says. She's like, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So you're laying in bed, you can't even move your eyelids. It's pretty hard to think this is happening for me. It reminds me of your title, Transform Your Worst Moments into Your Greatest Gifts. Where were you, and how did your thinking shift in order to go from being paralyzed maybe forever to standing on the stage with me right now?
Well, it took, obviously, am I ever going to walk again? I may never walk again. What am I going to do with my son? He's a year old. So it was all of that. But there was something inside of me that I knew I possessed. And I knew that was my only shot, because doctors didn't know what to do for me. So it was up to me, and it left me so kind of helpless and hopeless. I just let go. And the being inside of me that we all truly are, not who is standing here.
Not right? The meat suit.
Not the suit. So that really took over. And it was just me getting out of the way. And it slowly happened, and then, boom, it just all of a sudden it took hold, and here we go.
But what I think is so dramatic about your story, not that there wasn't physical therapy and other Western medical interventions, but your healing really happened in your brain. Yeah.
Right in here. Right in here.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, again, seeing yourself that way. I wasn't really seeing myself in the bed. I was just trying to kind of take myself out of there and to put myself somewhere else, so I would see myself on a mountain or anywhere.
And you did these very detailed visualizations that my theory is it actually rewired the neural pathways of your brain. It was almost like you were skiing or walking in addition to doing the physical therapy, but you were doing it. They say this about like planning a trip, that just planning a trip is as therapeutic as going on it.
Absolutely.
The act of planning it, that you were planning
Absolutely.
to walk again.
Sure, I was. I wasn't planning on walking again. I was planning to ski again. I mean, it was already, no, this is going to happen. I mean, obviously, there's the moments, the 23 and a half hours a day that you're saying, oh my God.
I'm never going to walk again.
I'm never going to walk again. But then there's that other half an hour, or really 10 minutes, that you can kind of really get there and say, maybe this is inside me. I can do this. And it was holding on to that and grabbing onto it and not just letting the body, go. Let it go.
That was the secret to my weight loss too, by the way.
I know that.
With Scott's application, he actually sent a picture, and that photo was what I knew we would be up here on the stage. So you were told you would never ski again. Mm-hmm. What happened?
Well, obviously I am. And
You actually skate again. It's not just like you're.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. I
So
just
that
skied a
picture
couple
was
weeks
on
ago.
top of the mountain, and
Oh, absolutely. Got to the top of the mountain, and actually the picture that was taken that I stared at for 24 hours a day, that was in my hospital room, I actually stood on that mountain just last December.
such a powerful story. This is a story you have to read. This is a story that will absolutely transform not even just your worst moments, just sometimes a small moment that might be bothering you. The tools in Scott's journey are tools you can leverage too. I want you to get this book and just share it with everyone you know. You are going to love this story. If you listen to me, if you happen to be a Hollywood producer, you want to reach out to Scott, this is the story you want to turn into a film. It is an amazing, amazing story, and I can envision it in movie theater soon. So Finding Ugly, transform your worst moment into your greatest gift. Scott Sunderland, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all your help.